Hello everyone, good afternoon to you. Welcome to another video tutorial. In this video, we shall be taking a technical look at the EURJPY, and also I will be taking you through my thought process on what my expectation is going to be like for this week. Now, if we look at the Euro JPY from the daily time frames perspective, it is very obvious that price action has been on a bullish momentum in the last 2 years. However, the most important structure here is what has been happening since last year. As you can see, we have a key level at around the 134 area, which was holding selling pressure at one point in time before that structure was broken to the upside in the month of March of last year. And since price action broke above the 134.00 level, price has remained above this level for the emphasizing the strength of the buyers at this point. Now, if for the sake of this session and not to make this video too long at this point, how do we want to focus on what has been happening since the beginning of this year? And what do we have here? If you look at the structure here, you would notice that price action has been consolidating between the 143.00 level, which has been serving as the resistance point of this channel, and the 138.00 area, which is serving as the support level of this channel to emphasize the level of indecision that is in this market. So since the breakdown of the 143.00 level, price has consistently traded below that level to further emphasize some level of strength for the sellers. Then in addition to this channel that we have here between the 143 and the 138 is this bearish trend line, which I was able to identify after connecting the series of lower highs since the month of October. So for the sake of the session, I will be using these two structures to guide our trading activity. And what makes this structure a little bit more interesting is the fact that if you notice what has been happening around the resistance point here, you would notice that at every point in time, price tested that 143.00 level. It has been on a worst day. Look at what happened here, Wednesday of last Wednesday of December, and then we have another Wednesday here, which was on the 11th of January. And the Wednesday for last week, you can see that price was unable to get back into the 143 level. For me, is a sign that sellers might likely be coming in at this point. But we cannot just jump into such conclusion if we take into consideration the demand zone that we have around the 138.00 level. So with this structure we have here, it is very important that we scale down to a lower time frame so that we can have a better perspective into what is really going on here. And one more thing about this current structure is the fact that we have a breakout of this bearish trend line, which has been holding bearish momentum in the last 3 to 4 months now. Though we had a breakout of that level here in the month of December, price dropped below the structure, and another breakout of this trend line is something that we need to take a closer look at to understand what is really going on here. So what I'll be doing now is to scale down to the 4 hours time frame, and let's look at this technical structure that we have here to decipher what our next line of action will be. But before I go down into excuse me, before I go down into the lower time frame, I think it's appropriate that we scale into the economic calendar, as I think there are a couple of macroeconomic events that we want to be looking forward to for this week, which will definitely be bringing some liquidity into this market to drive price movement. Now, looking at the economic calendar here, I think the first event that we are going to be looking forward to is coming up on Monday, and that's the GDP for Germany. And it's also an high impact event we want to be looking forward to. That's on Monday. Then we have something coming up here on Tuesday for the retail sales for Germany as well. And then we have the ECB Bank lending survey coming up on that same day. Then we have the GDP coming up, the harmonized index of consumer prices coming up on that same day. You can see that days jump back with quite a lot of high impact event. Then on Wednesday, we have the core harmonized index for consumer prices, which is coming up on that day on Wednesday too as well. Then on Thursday, we have the ECB monetary policy decision statement, rate and deposit facility, rate on main refinancing operations, and then we have a press conference coming up on that day. So it's quite a major a week laced with major macroeconomic event that we want to be looking forward to, and this has a tendency of bringing some liquidity, and there is a likelihood that we will be having a high volatility for this week. So what we want to be doing right now is to position ourselves in such a way that we can catch these moves when they finally happen. And in order to do this, we want to scale down to a much lower time frame, like the 4 hours time frame, where I was able to identify a simple setup which I think we will be able to use to guide our trading activity for this week. So now this is the 4 hours time frame here, and remember the 143 level which we identified on the daily time frame, and the 138 level which has been serving as a demand zone at least since the beginning of this year. Then we also laid emphasis on the breakout of the bearish trend line, which has been holding bearish momentum in the last 3 to 4 months. And one thing we observed here on the 4 hours time frame is that since the beginning of last week trading session, price has been choppy, hereby caught within a channel between the 142.00 level and the 141.00 area to give us a clue of an indecision in this market. And whenever we have an indecision structure like this, we all know that uh, participants in the market are actually waiting for a catalyst that will be driving price movement. And one thing we saw on the macroeconomic event for the coming week are quite a lot of macroeconomic events that might be serving as a catalyst for this market. So, with a simple setup we have here around the 142.00 level and the 141.00 area, all we need to do at this point is to remain patient and wait out for a breakout or breakdown of this channel to give us a signal of where price action might likely be going. So we might likely have a situation where this channel here would transition into a trend continuation pattern considering the impulsive move we have here, whereby the structure will transition into a trend continuation pattern after a breakout of the 142.00 level happens to incite a bullish momentum. So this is one scenario we are going to be looking forward to, and we want to be positioning ourselves in such a way that we can catch that move. Another thing that could happen here is if this channel evolves into a reversal pattern where the 141.00 level will be serving as the neckline of that reversal pattern. Now, to trade this, to sell the EURJPY for this week, we need to see an outright breakdown of the 141.00 level, followed by selling pressure below the structure in our lower time frame to join that decline to the downside. So these are the things I want to be looking forward to, as I will be using this flat channel as a guide for trading activities for this week. I would like to pause the video at this point, but be rest assured that I will be jumping right in the comment section of this video to give you an update of what my expectations are after monitoring how participants in this market will be reacting to this current structure during the early hours of this week. I hope this video has been of immense help in making your personal decision on the EURJPY for this week, and if it did, kindly support this project by clicking the like button. You would also want to be part of my daily commentaries in the comment section of all of my videos by following me on my TradingView platform at Darksherry, DARCSHERRY, so that we can be on this trading journey together in the comment section of all of my videos. Thank you for watching this video, and I look forward to seeing you right in the comment section as usual as we get ourselves prepared for the new week. Do have a wonderful evening. Bye bye.